Hey, happy Saturday, runners. It is January 14th. It's morning here in Phoenix, Arizona. The time here locally is 10:28 a.m. Sitting here with a nice cup of coffee. It's about 55, 56 degrees. It's going to be a cloudy day, and this will be the warmest. Well, we'll get into the 60s, probably maybe mid 60s before we get 3 days of rain. Not constant rain, but we're going to be getting a few rain showers. I don't know where you guys are watching from, but uh, California has been getting pounded by rains. Something called the atmospheric river that's been happening for the last couple weeks, and as a result, we get affected by that. Usually, when they get some storms, we'll get you know the residual part of that storm. But we're expecting here from Sunday through Tuesday anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to 1 1/4. Now that may not sound like much to you wherever you're watching this from, but for Phoenix, that's a pretty decent amount. We don't get a ton of rain throughout the year, and Arizona has been in a drought for years. So we do need the rain, but we just don't need a lot of it at once. And so, we get a lot of flooding here, and people aren't the best drivers because they're just not used to it. So it's supposed to happen overnight, like in the morning sometime, and then tomorrow it's supposed to be, in the morning, mid morning, and then afternoon it might clear a little bit, but then we get another storm on Monday, and then Tuesday as well. So it's a 3 day weekend for us out here. For those of us that observe the Martin Luther King holiday, I have that off. So I'm enjoying a 3 day weekend and welcome. So today I did a 7 mile run and I incorporated a 3 mile up tempo, I call it for me. And I'm getting ready for a 10K race coming up 3 weeks from tomorrow on February 5th. It's the Runner's Den Pancake 10K. They also have a 5K, or you could double stack. My wife has done that in the past, and I believe she's won it the last 4 or 5 years. This year, she's just doing the 5K because she's, healthy, injury free. But last year, she was out for quite a bit, like 4 months of no running, and slowly got back into it. So she's running, not a ton of miles, but she's running and she feels great. And she thought a 5K race would be just enough for her just to kind of see what she can do without overdoing it. So I'm excited. Plus, we get to watch each other race. Um, Typically, she'll do the double stack, and the 10K race is always first, so we'll race that. And of course, she beats me by quite a bit. And then I'll watch her race the 5K like 45 minutes after that, or an hour or so, because I just do the 10K. So this year, she'll watch me race first in the 10K, and then I'll watch her race the 5K. So it'll be cool. Um, I did buy a new shoe a little over a week ago. So I wear Sauconys and New Balance for the most part. Predominantly Saucony. I have a few pairs, for daily trainers like the Ride. I like the Saucony Convaras. I've got the Endorphin Pro just for races, um, Freedom, and on the New Balance side, I purchased the Fuel Cell Rebel V3. I have the V2, which I still run in, but the V3 was on sale. Normally 130, and I think it was on sale for $69. Um, so when you see the color, you may or may not like it. It is flashy, but it does the trick. So here it is. It is. It looks kind of, well, in person, it definitely looks lime green. It probably looks really green on the screen there. Um, it's called Vibrant Spring, so it definitely pops with color. It's a very cushiony shoe, and I don't know. Comment down below if any of you run or race in the Fuel Cell Rebel series. This is the latest series, the uh, the version 3. I have the version 2, which I like. My wife has version 1, and the version 1 was kind of funky when it first came out because the bottom here on the outside, let me see, like here, that used to really flare out more. It was a funky shoe. But I'm a type of person that I really do like cushioning. I have a little issue with my right heel, so um, on days where I really need it, this shoe comes in handy. This shoe is, well, designed for up tempo days. However, a lot of the reviewers out there are saying that you can run in this as a daily trainer. You can race in it, and I've raced in mine before. Um, you can do, short races. I don't know about marathons, but half marathon, 10K, 5K. Yeah, it is a little different from, I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how many of you have worn the other versions or this current version, but the tongue is a little short. I don't know if you can see. It typically comes up a little higher, right? So when you put it on, it feels like there's not much of a tongue there. Um, Not an issue when I'm running. Um, it's a good shoe, but there is subtle differences between the V3 and the V2 that I have. It is a 6 millimeter drop, so the difference between the heel and toe. I want to say I'm not quite sure because it was hard to find online, but it might be like 20, 27, 20 or something like that. Very light, breathable mesh here. I did find that this shoe ran just a smidge more snug than the version 2. In fact, these laces aren't the original laces, so probably looks like it's a little different color in video. In person, it looks more of a match, but I actually took these laces off of my New Balance Tempo shoes, just because the original laces, I like to double knot my laces so they don't come undone, and they were snug. So I could barely double knot them. So I was going to purchase some laces, but I looked around and I had these laces. So they do the trick, you know. Um, some of you may or may not like the color. It is a little bit flashy, like I said. But yeah, it's a good shoe. It's very cushiony underfoot, and it has pretty good grip. I don't think they would do real well in rain, but yeah, so far so good. um, so I did 7 miles today. I did 2 miles as a warm up. Well, let me backtrack. Before I ran, I went to the gym and I just did chest, shoulder, triceps to get in a little strength training. And then I went and did my 7 miles. 2 mile warm up, about 10, actually exactly 10, 16, 10, 17 pace for 2 miles. And then I got into my 3 mile up tempo set. And my target was, 8:30. That's where I was wanting to be, if not quicker. Um, and first mile I hit in 8:26, felt pretty good. And then the next mile dropped it down to 8:07. I still felt pretty good, and then eased back just a little bit on the third mile and an 8:14. So I averaged an 8:18 pace. RPE, or rate of perceived exertion, maybe 6.5, 7. I wasn't gasping for air, but when I was checking my heart rate, I was getting up there for me, probably like 150 or so. Typically that's like a 5K or getting close to 10K, which is good. It gives me a baseline reading of where I'm at. I've got a race in 3 weeks, and I have an idea where I might land. I'm hoping to break 53. When I did this race a couple years ago, when I was in much better fitness, I believe I had cracked 50 minutes and was like 49:56 or something like that. It was a really good race. I don't see myself doing that this year. If I did, it'd have to be a great day. But um, I think breaking 53 is definitely within reach. If it's a really great day, I'd like to go under 52. So, I got a little wiggle room. Just have to make sure not to go out too quick, but easier said than done. You just have to stay disciplined, right? This course is very flat on race day. It's basically like a little square, um, and then the last stretch is about a half a mile, maybe 4/10 of a mile, kind of long because you can see the finish line ahead. But at the same time, you can pick some people off if you're fortunate enough. So that should be fun. This week I ran, I want to say it's about 14 miles or so, 13 miles. I'll probably just maybe do a couple miles tomorrow as a recovery. We'll see how the weather holds up outside. But yeah, felt pretty good. You know, didn't do anything crazy. I've been hitting the gym and getting my strength training in, so I feel good about that. I've been doing Pilates as well, on YouTube, doing some stretches. I work from home, so I'll kind of sneak in some stretching, throughout the day, and just I try to do some squats, like the Asian squats they call it, or we're just squatting on the ground a couple times throughout the day. I'm working my back, so I'm not complacent and I'm just sitting at the desk all day because I work on a computer. Um, I have to get up at least once an hour, if not a couple times an hour. I just can't sit. I've got a standing desk, so I can raise it up or bring it down. So I don't do that as often, but I do get up quite a bit. So yeah. Anyways, that's about it. Short and sweet, or somewhat short. Let me know what you guys are up to if you're here in the states and you have a 3-day weekend with the Martin Luther King holiday. I hope you have a great weekend. Great racing to you. I know we have a race out here in Phoenix tomorrow. It'll probably be a soggy one. We've got some friends that are doing it. It's the Arizona Rock and Roll series. So I believe today is the 5K, and then tomorrow will be the 10K half, and then the marathon. Part of the Rock and Roll racing series they have throughout the U.S. and some international as well. So that should be exciting. And I know there's also the Houston Marathon and the Houston Half, which you can stream that, which we're going to be watching tomorrow from Houston ABC affiliate, Channel 13. I believe the race starts just after 7 a.m. Central Time. So if you guys want to watch it, they're going to be streaming the race. The half marathon is loaded on the women's side. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It might be a nice way to spend a rainy morning. That's it, guys. Have yourself a great weekend. Be safe out there. Thanks again for watching. Take care.